Let me ask you a question. If robots take your job and your boss replaces you with a computer that doesn't need a tea break, doesn't complain about Karen from accounts, and doesn't mysteriously develop food poisoning every time the sun comes out, does that make you poorer? Or does it just make your boss richer? Because somewhere right now, there's a machine doing someone's job faster, cheaper, and without ever saying,
"Sorry I'm late, the Northern Line's delayed again."
And the scary part, it's not just happening to factory workers anymore, it's happening to office workers, drivers, customer service staff, even people who thought they were safe because they work on computers, which is a bit like thinking you're safe from sharks because you work at SeaWorld. So today, we're going to answer the big question: can AI actually make us all poorer? And more importantly, who's actually getting richer from it? Stick around until the end because the answer might surprise you, and it might explain why your weekly shop now costs roughly the same as a small mortgage. The technology was supposed to make our lives easier. That was the deal. Machines would do the boring work, we'd all relax more, maybe work 3 days a week, spend more time with family, take up hobbies, learn the guitar. Finally fix that drawer in the kitchen that everyone pretends isn't broken. Instead, what actually happened is the machines did the boring work and we just got more work. Somehow, technology saved time, and the employers immediately filled that time with meetings. Meetings that could have been emails. Emails that could have been ignored. Ignored things that somehow still became your problem. Now that's what we call progress. But now, AI isn't just speeding things up, it's replacing people entirely. And that's where things start to get uncomfortable. Because when technology replaces a task, it often replaces the person doing it. Think about the last time you went to Tesco's. You walk in, you pick up your overpriced meal deal, which is apparently the result of inflation, supply chains, and pure emotional abuse. You go to pay, and what do you see? Self-checkouts. 10 of them. And one human being supervising like a tired zookeeper watching over malfunctioning robots. Unexpected item in the bagging area. Yes, that unexpected item is my will to live, thank you. Tesco's didn't install those machines because they love technology. They installed them because machines don't ask for pay rises. Machines don't call in sick. Machines don't unionize. Machines don't spend 10 minutes telling you about their holiday in Benidorm. They just work. Relentlessly, silently, efficiently, and crucially, cheaply. Now multiply that across the entire economy. Customer service, automated. Banking, automated. Travel bookings, automated. Even content writing, graphic design, and video editing, increasingly automated. If your job involves sitting at a computer doing repeatable tasks, AI is already eyeing up your chair. Not aggressively, just patiently, like a cat watching a goldfish. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most jobs exist because they're cheaper to hire humans than to build machines. Not because humans are better, just cheaper. But AI is changing that equation. Once it becomes cheaper to use AI, businesses will use AI. Not because they're evil, but because they're businesses. Their job is to reduce costs and increase profits, not protect Dave from accounts. Now imagine this happening to millions of people. What happens when thousands of office workers are replaced? What happens when drivers are replaced by autonomous vehicles? What happens when entire departments shrink from 50 people to 5 people and a server? Those people don't just lose jobs, they lose income. And when income disappears, spending disappears. And when spending disappears, the entire economy slows down, which affects everyone, even people who still have jobs. So here's a question for you. Do you think your job is safe from AI? Seriously, comment below. What do you do for work? And do you think a machine could replace it? Be honest, no judgment. Unless you say professional queue stander, that job is absolutely finished. Now some people say, oh, just learn new skills, which sounds great in theory, but in reality, it's a bit like telling someone whose car's been stolen, well, just build a new car. Learning new skills takes time, money, energy, and most importantly, opportunity. Not everyone can just wake up and become an AI engineer. Some people are like 50. They've got mortgages, kids, back pain that started mysteriously one morning and never left. They don't have time to spend 3 years retraining. They need income now. And this creates something called a skills gap, where the new jobs require skills that displaced workers don't have. And the result? Some people move forwards, others get left behind. Not because they're lazy, Not because they're stupid, but because the world changed faster than they could. And here's where things get really interesting. Because AI doesn't just destroy jobs, it creates wealth. Huge amounts of wealth. But the question is, who gets that wealth? Because AI systems are owned. They belong to companies. And those companies belong to shareholders. So when AI replaces 1,000 workers, the company saves millions in wages. That money doesn't disappear. It goes somewhere, usually into profits. So shareholders benefit, executives benefit, investors benefit, but the displaced worker, not so much. It's like replacing a team of rowers with a motor. The boat moves faster, but the rowers are left standing on the shore watching, wondering what the hell just happened. This is why some people worry AI could increase inequality. Not because AI is evil, but because ownership matters. The people who own the machines, they are going to own the future. Now, before we all panic and start learning how to live off-grid in the Scottish Highlands, AI also creates new opportunities. Every major technological revolution has. The internet destroyed some jobs, but created entirely new industries. Social media managers, app developers, YouTubers, people who somehow make 40,000 a month reviewing kettles. AI will do the same. New roles will appear, new businesses will emerge, new opportunities will exist. The question isn't whether AI creates wealth, it's whether ordinary people get access to it, or whether it stays concentrated at the top. So, can AI actually make us poorer? The honest answer is yes and no. AI can make some people poorer, especially those whose jobs are replaced and who don't have the opportunity to adapt. AI can also make other people richer, especially those who learn how to use it, own it, or work alongside it. AI isn't the enemy, it's a tool, like electricity or the internet, or that one colleague who somehow does nothing but still gets promoted. The real question isn't whether AI will create wealth, it will. The real question is, will you be a part of it or be replaced by it? Because right now, we're living through one of the biggest economic shifts in history. And most people don't even realize it's happening. They're just wondering why everything feels more expensive, why jobs feel less secure, why the future feels uncertain. AI isn't coming, it's already here, quietly, efficiently, replacing tasks, changing industries, and reshaping the economy. So I want to hear from you. Do you think AI will make your life better or worse? Comment below. I do read the comments, all of them, even the ones where you're calling me an idiot, especially those. They make me laugh. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, because on this channel, we talk about money, the economy, and the forces quietly rearranging your financial future. Without the jargon, without the nonsense, and without pretending everything's fine when your weekly food shop costs more than your first car. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.